everyone, I'm Nicholas, and today, for the year 2023, crazy effects have become much easier, and anyone can do them if they have the desire. Today, I'll do something cool with you right now. I'll take an idea from what I have and just create it. Alright, enough talking. Let's go. Of course, we'll be doing it in the Blender program. Let's open it. We have a project called Schneigers because the robot here is also called Schneiger. I'll leave all the files for you to create. Everything will be awesome. Let's go. What are we doing for the first time? Let's immediately start with 3D tracking because I'll be doing 3D tracking specifically in me. What kind of computer do you need to learn 3D? Even the most basic laptop can handle Blender. Blender is a highly optimized program for 3D and so on. Let's open the project right away. We upload your video that you want to work on. I'll be doing it for myself. We load our video segment, and we'll start doing 3D tracking here. We click on the 3D tracker and wait for the analysis. While the analysis is running, I'd like to explain why I'm doing 3D trackers in the After Effects program. There's also a 3D tracker in Blender because it's much harder to do all of this in Blender. And yes, there's a very good tracker there, but we'll definitely cover that in other videos. 3D tracking has been successful. We can see what we have in our point. These are what we can use. Now let's build a plane. We simply move the mouse and see that the program suggests doing something. I'll set the plane myself and select a point. One more. Based on these points, I'll create a solid, and I see that everything has been created perfectly. Now, of course, I'll adjust it to different moments, so I click on Transform, and here you adjust it as needed. After that, let's see how the tracker is set up. Well, everything's great. Now let's fold all of this for now and open the Blender program. As soon as we open the program, we can immediately delete all of this. We won't need it. To load our camera from the After Effects into Blender, we need a special plugin called E2Blender. We go to the After Effects, click on Camera Transform, select our animations, and press Ctrl+C. Then we go to Blender and create a camera. We see that a camera has been created here. Immediately, we go to the camera settings. What do we need to do here? Then we go back to After Effects, go to the camera settings, which is the setup, and here we copy the Ctrl+C designation. We go back to Blender and paste it here, and we place a point here. Now, as if the focus is at the correct distance, and don't forget to immediately set the frame rate to 25 or 30, depending on what frame rate your footage has. You need to check your footage up properties, details, and check the frame rate. Mine is 25 now. We need to copy all the data on our plane. We open it and copy everything here with Ctrl+C. We go back to Blender and press Track Plane, which means we create a plane, keys, and everything else. So all our information is transferred here. Now we need to set the correct position because our plane, our ground, has shifted in Blender, meaning our coordinates are wrong. I choose 0 for the camera and choose 0 for the spline. Now I press Ctrl+P, which means to parent the object. Now I press Alt+G, Alt+R, and press 0 to view the camera, and I see. What? Everything is fine. Oh, that's wonderful. Now all our data has been transferred in Blender. Now let's work some magic, already directly in Blender itself. Go to Camera Properties, and let's set a background image here, and choose our video, that is, open our footage. We open our footage personally. Set visibility to 100% so that it's visible, and take a look. Oh, it's wonderful. Everything is fine. Everything is hiding. Everything is as it should be. Well, now directly, you can add anything you want here. Click on File and add our file. Drag it here. And there it is. Now what do? Click Add. Here we need to select an object. Here we select and press Ctrl, or rather just A and add. Press 0. Let's take a look. Now this can be deleted, but this skeleton can be deleted. And for this skeleton, we select this skeleton and we'll scale it. Press S, press X. Now you will need to scale all of this. You need to do this. Adjust everything, rotate, turn as you like. And now let's create a reflection map right away. Don't forget the first rules of 3D. You need to create a reflection map, that is, an environment map, so that all of this is reflected on the 3D model itself. We need to understand that 3D effects are not that difficult. You just need to understand all of this, at least at a basic level. I won't say that I'm some great master of special effects, but I can say for sure with confidence that I'm constantly interested in it. I even watch movies and analyze the graphics every time. Go to Shading, select World, and here press Control. And now here, we need to select our reflection map to open. All of this is here. I also have files here, and here are 3 photos of our surroundings. I'll probably open them, put them here for visualization so that I can see the intensity. You can work with it. And now let's adjust the position of our reflection map here. All of this is done here in the display. Rotate it, turn it as you like. So let's see that our reflection map is in place in principle. And now it's already clear that it reflects as it should. After you've done everything, set the position as needed, adjusted all of this, set up some reflection for it. Let's add light. So I see that I have different lighting here coming from here, light bulbs from behind, and something from below. Now let's add it, press up light, point light. Now I exit camera mode and want to position this light behind. I think that how to adjust the light and so on, selecting light and either intensity. We've set up all of our lighting, adjusted everything. Look at what the problem is. Not really a problem. We need shadows because, of course, you can add them later in After Effects, but it would be more correct to do it in Blender itself, to add shadows. There are 2 ways to add shadows. You can do it like on Eve and also on Cycles render nice cycles. These are all the most correct, the best ones for adding shadows here, you see. Select our plane and go to Object Settings. Here we select Visibility and click on Shadow Catcher. Now we have shadows. To understand how they fit better, let's do this. Press F12. By doing this, we get 1 frame of our render. Save it somewhere on the desktop. Go to the second effect and drag it here to just understand if I can later remove all of this with a mask, if it will be more convenient for me. So now let's move on to the most interesting part. Now, once we have set up all of our lighting, shadows, our position in general, everything we need, let's move on directly to animating this iron thing. In order to make an animation, we select our skeleton and go to pose mode. Here, if we take any elements of our skeleton, each element corresponds to a certain bone, or for example, I want to animate the knee or the leg and see. What do I have? If I do it like this, move, my knee moves. I'll take this element. My nagar is working. To create some animation, we choose an element of our pose, that is, some bone. We put auto consciousness keys here, go to settings, choose all the keys here, enter a few frames, and make some movement. And that's how animation is done. You can create any animation of all parts of the body and come up with your concept. What do you need? Well, I'll make my own. Who knows? Maybe right now I am myself a 3D visual effect. Maybe I'm not here at all, and all this space doesn't exist. What if I'm just standing somewhere else right now? And if all this is invented, fictional, then I managed to create a good effect and you believed in it and couldn't tell. Then it's cool. I just came up with, invented a real VFX, that is, visual effects. But they are done, of course, very seriously and very cool. The best VFX is considered the one that is invisible to the eye when you can't determine reality or it's 3D. We will do everything in the Blender program. Why? Because this program is optimized, it gets updated, it's free, and you can do absolutely everything in it. Of course, I don't create 3D models, item model, because it's not my industry at all. I just download models for myself, either buy them or download them, it's up to you. Well, in order to think through all this, to create all this beginning, you need to come up with it in your head, or write it down somewhere on a piece of paper, draw some kind of approximate layout of your project. Okay, after you've made your animation again, we check everything here, how we have everything, light and so on. Now there's just a little left. Now you need to export all this as a video, render it, and send it directly to compositing in After Effects. We go to Settings. Naturally, we set it with transparency, that is, with an alpha channel, and we go to the render output settings and choose the folder where we will save it, and press Ctrl plus F12. After 15 days, my render was completed. By the way, there is such a problem in Blender that during rendering, it just took off halfway, that is, it crashed, closed completely. It's good that I know how to set up auto-saving and extract files. We continue to work, already doing compositing directly, adding various effects, color correction, whatever you want. Drop it, do something else, it doesn't matter. Here, as you can see, I masked it. I did it on purpose so that there was an effect here. See, something like that. If you like this video, like it, write your comments, subscribe to the channel, and everything will be cool. Do create, play computer games less, practice more, and everything will work out for you.